Hello and welcome to Following On via the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel or via your podcast provider. I'm Jon Norman alongside Steve Harmison for the next 20 minutes or so, looking back at a proper old day of Test cricket, as they would say. Fluctuating day, one that started with the West Indies losing 4 wickets early. Chris Woakes on a hat-trick, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't a hat-trick ball in the end. Instead, West Indies added 71 in 13 overs, and a couple of spectators had a couple of tiles landing on their heads as well. More of that in a little bit later. Either way, an extended session saw the West Indies all out for 457, a lead of 41. England lost Zach Crawley early, but then Duckett and Pope did what Duckett and Pope did in the first innings, but in the second innings, adding 100. Both of those were out for 50s. It meant the West Indies were still in this, but surely, with a lead of 207 at stumps, Joe Root and Harry Brook, both unbeaten, have taken it away from them. We shall see. We'll speak to Harmy in a second. Thanks for watching or listening to Following On. All right then, Harmy. Good old days. Test cricket again today. And, moment of the day, Shamar Joseph hooking Gus Atkinson. I didn't see the speed of the delivery, but I imagine it was probably around 87, 88 miles an hour. Into the Larwood stand. Just over there, if you're watching on YouTube, and it was quite dramatic actually. I watched it happen. I thought, "Where's that ball gone?" And then I saw an explosion of tiles, and then I saw the tiles cascading down the roof, and I thought, "Oof, that could be nasty actually." And sure enough, a few spectators, they were okay, but yeah, it was quite dramatic. And West Indies battled away. It's been a good day. They bowled okay. I'll get your thoughts on that. But surely it's England's game now, right? 7 wickets in hand. Root and Brook at the crease. 2 full days to come. A lead of over 200. Game, set, match.
Yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly. I don't think the West Indies, as much as I think they have, you said fluctuated. This game's gone back and forward. I think that last 90 minutes, 2 hours, I think that's where, when they look back again, I think they'll be proud of their efforts. Whatever England get in front, 350, 400, we've still got some artillery to come in yet. I think they will look at the end of day 3, last session, is probably where the game, moving day, as I said, where the game went. You're right. It was, they came out. Chris Woakes was excellent again. He just needs some time in the middle, some confidence of getting wickets, giving him some confidence of getting it up there, that little bit fuller. And we've seen him when he got to that little bit fuller, he got the nick, he got the bold. Take nothing away. I thought De Silva batted brilliantly. I really did. I thought he marshalled the tail very, very well, exploded when he needed to explode. Helped by Shamar Joseph, and you're right. I thought there was going to be a health and safety moment for a second, and the game might have to stop for a couple of hours, like it did at 1 or 2 football grounds when we had ridiculous rain pouring through the roof. But common sense prevailed. Everybody got on with the game. Nobody got hurt, and I think they were royally entertained. The only negative for me today, again, and I'm going to be like the old man on the soapbox. Test cricket can't afford to lose 11 overs. I've seen a positive game of cricket. I've seen 3 excellent days between 2 sides at either end of the spectrum from an experience point of view to where they're trying to build their teams. But 11 overs lost is not good enough, nowhere near. And I think the umpires have got to take some fault in this as well. Not hurrying them on. We had 5 ball changes, I think, in the day. That's not going to help.
I tell you what,
I sound like an old man, but
DRS didn't help either.
Yeah,
there was the wicket of Ben Duckett was on talkSPORT.
It was ridiculously long.
Well, it was crazy because it happened just as talkSPORT were going to an advert break, and I buzzed through and I said, "There's been a wicket here, but there's a review." And we looked out, and then we had a full advert break, which must be about 3 or 4 minutes. They came back and we still hadn't even seen it. I hadn't even seen it up on the big screen, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they're a victim of the IT situation. Who knows? It's good to, by the way, thanks to the global tech support guy who has got me back on my laptop. I had a message from our producer, Scott Taylor, who said, you sound like you had a lisp. for the entirety of yesterday's show. So hopefully that's stopped now.
You hadn't been to Broad Street. You hadn't been to Broad Street. You had technical issues. There wasn't whiskey in the coffee.
Exactly. I'm innocent. So, but look, it's we sat there and we watched yesterday as West Indies batted all day, losing just 5 wickets. It's not a wicket where you see wickets. Sorry, it's not a pitch where you see wickets lost in clumps. And that's kind of happened again today, isn't it? But just when you think it's set, then there's a wicket and you're like, oh, I can't quite work this pitch out. I mean, it was odd yesterday. It was swinging yesterday towards the back end of the day with an old ball, one of the many balls that they had yesterday, in blazing hot sun. I mean, maybe it was the humidity. But then it hasn't really swung today when it's been... I mean, it's actually now, do you know what? As I look around this pitch, I can see more blue sky right now at 1 minute to 7 in the evening. It's essentially been cloudy all day. It's not been overly windy. It's just been a little breeze, so it's not like it's kind of negated. The ball hasn't really swung.
No, it hasn't. But I think that I would suggest. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear. I didn't hear what Stuart Broad. I didn't hear Stuart Broad much on commentary today. I must have been bouncing in and out when he wasn't on. It's his home ground, and whether he could talk about it. I listened to a bit on the radio, but I was listening to two batters. Sir Alistair Cook was more or less saying the same. He's perplexed at why it was swinging yesterday and it's not swinging today, and there's cloud cover. The only thing I can really think of, is the ball. And the ball was out of shape, and the ball wasn't in a position to swing. Yeah, circumference wasn't in a good place. That was soft. Let's say 4 or 5 changes of the ball. That's the only thing I can think of, is that the ball wasn't in the right shape for it to swing. It did for a little bit, and I think it did just before Duckett got out. That was when the ball changed, and there was the lights were on. The umpires got together. You were thinking, "Ooh, not go off." It was anyway. Just then, more or less, just come on. That was just after the tea break, and I had that little 10-minute sort of rain shower where you were like, "Why on earth are you standing on the side of the field? Just get on with it." Again, like an old man jumping on my soapbox. But there was a period there for about 10, 15 minutes when Alzari Joseph got up to swing, and you were thinking, "Oh, you know what? 99 for 3, effectively 99 for 3. England have got to work hard to get out of this." Yeah. And I wouldn't say they didn't work hard, because they did, because I think Joe Root held it all together beautifully. I think the plans that the West Indies have got, Harry Brook, yes, he's been bounced out a few times, but against quicker bowlers on bouncier pitches, I thought Joe Root just held Harry Brook together nicely, and then Harry Brook got himself going, and took the game. And I guess they'd right at the top, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. That last session has probably cost the West Indies, because they were 99 effectively for 3. It was swinging a little bit. And then all of a sudden, once they got the ball to swing and got the ball to move laterally, they started wanging it in halfway down, start pitching it in the middle of the surface. And if you're going to start bowling bouncers with a swinging ball, it's not going to swing for that long when you start trying to pitch it up. And unfortunately for the West Indies, I think that's cost them.
What did you make of England's bowling tactics for the 10th wicket?
Again, back to Centurion, back to Pretoria all them years ago on Boxing Day, when me and Goffey having a massive rant and argument in the talkSPORT studio. Yeah, bowling short at tail enders, I really don't understand. I really don't understand. As a tail ender myself, I'm going, well, I'm not really going to get in any other position other than try and somehow survive. Somebody's going to set up bowling bounces at me. I'm ducking and swaying, but I'm still not moving that well. I mean, if somebody bowls 10 balls at the top of my off stump, I can guarantee you'll hit one of them will hit the stumps. I'm not good enough. That's why I batted number 10 and number 11. So I really don't understand why we go to this short ball theory. I really don't understand why we think bowling bouncers at a number 10's head is really going to... Yes, it might intimidate them. Yes, it might move them out of the way of the stumps. But I'm sorry, you've got to keep the stumps in play 65, 70% of the time. You know, that's how you're going to get the wicket. You get the wicket LBW, you get the wicket bowled 65% of the balls have got to hit the stumps. And I mean, as well as Mark Wood bowled yesterday, and he bowled brilliantly, and it was a valiant effort, I still don't think he brought the stumps into play enough to cause problems of a batter on the front foot at 96 miles per hour. And I think when you get a number 11 in, if you can get him one or two of them through, chin strap area, you get him away from the stumps. You either bowl at the stumps if he's going to stand in front of the stumps. You bring in LBW, bowled and caught behind, and if he's going to back away, well, then you just go a little bit wider, and you get him nicked off like Chris Woakes did. He got a couple of wickets where he bowled that little bit wider, fuller length, outflashed the bat, and he got the wicket. I'm trying to think of which one it was. I think it was Aljari Joseph. It was wide outside of stump, and he flashed at it. Job's done. And that, for me, is how you bowl at tail enders. Bowling 6 out of 6 at the over the top of the batter's head. Sorry, you're just giving them a chance of getting it over the top of the keeper, short of third, glancing blow down a fine leg. All of a sudden, you're changing the momentum of the game when you've got yourselves in a position to have a team 9 down, and you're also given a chance of a bloke who's at the other end in Joshua De Silva, chance to free his arms. I thought England's tactics, I thought the wheels came off for a short period there, because their tactics has been very, very good throughout this Test match and this series so far, bowling at the West Indies. I just thought they got it horribly wrong at bowling at number 11.
I saw Merv Hughes tweeting about Gus Atkinson today, and the premise is that the Australian batters won't be losing any sleep about facing him come the end of next year. It's way too early to talk about that, of course. Bit of fun, that's fine. But we've seen Atkinson 25 over spell. We've seen Bashir 25 over spell. What were your takeaways from what you've seen over the last couple of days?
I like what I'm seeing. I really do like what I'm seeing. I'm not.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, the performance of it is that's for further down the line. I think I like what I'm seeing from a bowling unit without Broad and Anderson. You've got to find their feet. You've got to.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw, and you're not throwing. It's not as though you're throwing in and you're going right. Yeah, chuck them in the deep end, sink or swim, 3, 4, 24-year-olds, because we've retired 3 all-time greats. And that's not the case. But you've got to have some level of responsibility on your shoulders when you go out there without Broad and Anderson. It's got to be different. Woakes is going through a difficult time, a really difficult time at this moment, because of him not playing a great deal of cricket. The loss of a father. We've seen what happened to Ben Stokes when Ben lost his dad. I mean, that's huge in somebody's life. So I think you've got to give him, like I said last night, he'll come good. I've got no doubt Chris Woakes will come good. He averages 22 in England. And I think 4 wickets tonight, that's going to serve him well. The thing with Bashir, like I said last night, it's a learning curve. He will get better, because what he'll do is he'll start, and then there's about 4 or 5 overs he's bowled in the 25 where he's gone for a single or he's gone for a 2 off either the 5th or the 6th ball. Maybe he's trying to strive to just try and get that wicket. That's fine, but I think in a year or 2 years' time, he'll come out of that over, dot ball, maiden over, pressure on, keep it going. And I think that is something that he will learn. That's why I like them getting their heads now. That's why it was right, I think, as much as Jimmy doesn't like it, to move on from Jimmy Anderson off the back of Stuart Broad. We've got to give Gus Atkinson a chance to back up. At this moment in time, I don't have a problem with what Merv Hughes says. He's right. At this moment in time, Australian batters probably aren't losing sleep over facing Gus Atkinson. We're 12 months away. Gus Atkinson might have 65 Test wickets by then. He might be the bowler.
They've got to get through Jasprit Bumrah before they get to Atkinson, don't they?
Absolutely. So this is why I like what I'm seeing. We need to see Pennington to see what he's got. There's 1 or 2 others in the pipeline to find a formula of how we're going to get 20 wickets, probably away from home. I think we've seen this week how hard it is, because I think this pitch and this, the way this Test match has gone was a little bit like an away Test match, and that's why I've enjoyed not enjoyed Wood going off, but fortunately he's just cramp. He'll be fine. He'll come out second innings. If England come out second innings and blow the West Indies away with a little bit of reverse swing, some good accurate bowling, some hostility, this pitch hopefully, it's been a good test pitch so far. To be a great test pitch, it's got a spin tomorrow and day 5. If that happens in England, go on and take 10 wickets for 180 runs, 150 runs, you'd say, do you know what? This is a great start after the Broad-Anderson era, and it's something to build on. No problem what Merv said. Gus Atkinson's a long, long way away from that Ashes. But hopefully, these days will stand them in good stead going forward. So, yeah, I was really pleased with what I've been seeing so far, because it's not been easy and they're learning. That's Rob Key, Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes I don't think can be any happier than where they are now, because they're getting challenged. And if they get challenged, they'll learn quicker. And if they learn quicker, they'll become better. If they don't, they'll be gone. I think we're onto something here. We just probably need 1, possibly 2 more, just to make sure the backup stocks are in good order. But I'm really happy with what I've seen over these test match and a half.
In kids' sport these days, you don't win or lose, you win or learn. And
yes.
England may well go on to win this test match, but they're learning. Okay, let's wrap things up. But how do you see this one going? Finish early day 5, maybe, with a resounding England win, and take the series, and then possibly look to bring in Dylan Pennington to take the new ball, maybe Matthew Potts for the 3rd test match? Or are we just doing what English cricket fans always do, and giving them their team way too much credit and not giving enough credit to the opposition?
No, I think England are, far superior to the West Indies. I think England will have to play Pennington and Potts eventually, and there's no reason why they can't play Edgbaston along with Woakes. So I think Woakes is important. He has to play to keep getting more under his belt. I think we'll see how Mark Wood pulls up, but I'd like Mark Wood to play Edgbaston. But if you can't, you've got Pennington and Potts. That's fine. I can see it finishing tomorrow night. I really can. I can see England coming out, getting 2 or 3 quick wickets. And I think if they get 2 or 3 quick wickets, they'll blow the West Indies away. What are the 207 in front now? A session.
So they'll be 360 at lunch. I don't think they're going to be setting them much more than 420. Or I think they'll give them the world record, and then they'll go.
England come out swinging. England will come out swinging once Brook gets to gets going.
Brook's game at a running ball anyway. It was actually quite a slow last hour. Yeah,
Brook, and you've got Stokes and Smith to come, who are naturally free flowing scorers.
Yeah,
if they get 140 in that first session tomorrow, then
which they probably will.
You'll see, and the West Indies are getting tired, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful of the West Indies here. I think they performed very, very well compared to what they were at Lords. I just think their bowlers are now. I think their bowlers are knackered now. Unfortunately for Shimra Joseph, who, he's bowled brilliantly when he's bowled. He just obviously his body's is not attuned to playing Test match cricket in recent times, and I think Alzari Joseph is starting a bit like Chris Woakes to get better with a little bit more overs under his belt. But I think they'll be quite happy to get this 3rd innings over and then see where the batters take them. But I can see it being over either late tomorrow night or, like you said, first thing Monday morning.
Okay, Harmy, thanks for your time. You'll be back tomorrow, so will I. Either looking back at a result or looking ahead to a result on Monday. Either way, thanks for watching us on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe and do the same if you're listening on the Following On podcast feed. But thanks for listening.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.